Talk Live, coming at you.
We're alive. Well, that was fun.
Paul, does that intro come in hot on the live show? Do we need to mix that down?
Oh, I don't know. No, I don't know because I don't think I've ever watched a live show.
You don't watch our show? You don't watch the show you're in?
That is not true. No, but
I'd like to say
the intro on everything else when it's playing live is like, well, it's like 10 to 15 dB hotter than the rest of the show.
Yeah.
But then they, I think YouTube then takes our show and, normalizes it, and then it sounds okay. Well, no, because I don't know.
It shouldn't do anything.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, I know when they do the countdown. When we do the countdown, the countdown is always hot. Like YouTube blows that thing and screaming.
True.
And then when our intro comes in, it's like it feels soft, but it's actually normal. Like that's
so
actually
you're talking about our trailer talk intro.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's
yes.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I don't know.
Okay, good.
Sorry.
I was worried there, but you were mentioning it.
I was ready to go
loud
in and
intro. I know. Do something, Steph. ASAP. Get on this.
Look busy. Oh, God.
Kendra said the intro volume's fine. Thank you, Kendra. Creed, thanks. Volume-wise sounds fine here on YouTube land. Thanks, guys.
Oh, good.
Thank you. That's all me. Thanks.
Oh, hey, Creed.
Maria, it should be loud. Blow out our ears out. Well, I mean, you want that, Maria, but not everybody.
Yeah.
We'll do a special stream for you, Maria. That's just loud, really just blow in the ears. Paul will mix that.
For replay, but make it metal.
There you go.
Make it metal. Yeah.
Perfect.
Lots of yelling.
Yeah.
So today we're watching Val, the new trailer that dropped. I don't know, a week ago maybe.
A week ago.
Yeah, the reason it dropped, I think they premiered it at Cannes this week, the Cannes Film Festival. So. And it premiered, and it's getting actually really positive reviews and feedback from what I've read. I read a couple things from the Hollywood Reporter and from For Showing, and a lot of people are gushing about it. And for those who don't know, so Val is a documentary based on the actor Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
So, and it's made by found footage of Val Kilmer that Val Kilmer shot throughout his years of filming, like all the movies, all the way back from like Top Gun. He used to just walk around set with a camcorder and film things, and it has like archive stuff from like when he like would rehearse for or send in what do you call it, Pagan, when you put forth like a self tape? Yeah, but like a self tape for like a role. Yeah, an audition. Thank you. So there's like auditions on there for films that he never got, and some that he did, obviously like The Doors or Tombstone. So it seems really powerful. And I don't want to spoil the trailer, but I guess a lot of people, myself included, were probably in the camp of like, what happened to Val Kilmer? Like, in that sense, like you grew up with him, or at least I grew up with him from like obviously Top Gun, and then he's in True Romance.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
Kiss Kiss Bang
Tombstone,
Bang, one of his greatest.
The Doors.
Yeah,
Batman.
Kiss Kiss Bang. Yeah, well, I mean, Batman.
All right, Batman. The film wasn't that great, but he was an all right Batman.
He was an all right Batman. Yeah.
I agree.
But I mean, and you can't talk about Val Kilmer and not talk about Willow, right? Mad Mardigan.
Never saw it.
What?
I never saw it. I'd like to though. I have heard very good things.
Get the fuck out.
Okay, bye.
Just leave. Sorry.
The dumpster fire will catch even more on fire if I left.
Yeah, that's true. I don't care if you're running the stream. You just got to go.
No, that's fair.
Let's shut it down. Let's just shut this stream down now.
It's been great, everybody.
Yeah, but I think this trailer is going to be fascinating. Even if you're not a fan of Val Kilmer or didn't grow up watching his films, there's something interesting about the inside of like an actor, like filming all of this stuff, because you don't really get to see a lot of that, like really, really behind the scenes stuff when you're making movies, right? So, I don't know. Let's check out this trailer. I think it's pretty good. So why don't we watch
Before
it?
we roll over, I just want to thank Emma and Thaddeus. Thank you so much for the soup.
I miss soup.
You miss soup. How could you?
Thaddeus.
That's your lifeline.
It is.
Thaddeus, Emma, thank you again so much for the soup. All right, let's watch the trailer. Hey, look at that cool scene swap that doesn't have a transition. Straight cut. Okay.
What happened?
I'm going to hit play on this awesome trailer in 3, 2, 1. Play.
Boom.
Hi, my name's Val.
I don't do this with every interview I go on. Take you inside my home. I don't.
That old school camcorder. The Doors. Oh my God, Tombstone, Heat.
The
My
Doors.
name is Val Kilmer. I'm an actor.
Crushed it.
I've lived a magical life.
A24.
I've captured quite a
You
bit.
kind of remind me of Napoleon Dynamite. I was like, I'm not gonna
I
lie.
was the first guy I knew to own a video camera.
Here we are, filming ourselves. Is that a video
Oh
camera?
my God, look how
Sean
young he
Penn.
is.
Kevin Bacon.
That's
Oh my
awesome.
I
God.
have thousands of hours of videotapes and film reels that I've shot throughout my life and career.
Shut the video camera off.
I will keep it on until we're rehearsing.
Wow.
Yes.
I was recently diagnosed with throat cancer.
Oh my God.
I didn't know
I'm
that.
still recovering, and it is difficult to talk and to be understood. But I want to tell my story more than ever.
I spent decades finding my voice
I was a perfectly normal person.
through characters,
I give you about 4 takes with some different voices.
through movies.
Oh wow, it's Platoon?
I love this. I love all this like B-roll.
For all that money.
Yeah.
Your life for a period of time.
Wow. Look at
I
that.
have behaved poorly. I have behaved bravely. Bizarrely to some.
How do you heal a broken heart?
You see
Oh,
myself
don't cry
as
in
a
it. I'm gonna
sensitive,
cry.
I know.
intelligent human being, but with the soul of a clown.
Look at that.
God, he really looks like the drummer for Korn when he was younger.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Oh my God.
It's a story about my life. That is also not my life.
Look at that. That's awesome. The Batman and Robin.
Wait, how did he
Wow.
narrate this?
It's his son.
How long has this been in production?
Get out
Oh,
of
it's
here.
his
That's
son?
his son. I'm sorry. We'll talk
Yeah.
about it
Oh,
over
wow.
the discussion.
That's
That-
Yeah.
that is
yeah.
his
So
son?
his son is narrating the whole thing. Yeah.
Oh,
It sounds exactly like
his
him.
son.
Yeah.
All
it's
right, that
pretty
blew
cool.
my mind. Holy shit balls.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I had no
That's a
idea
great-
he had throat cancer.
It's a great trailer.
know.
The movie looks
I knew he
amazing.
had it, but I
Right,
didn't
Paul?
realize it was that bad. I didn't realize he had. Oh,
I actually think that, like
Yeah,
that must be
I-
so heartbreaking because obviously acting is his life, and then your vocals are your main part, right? Like that's how you're going to convey your story, and it's not the most essential part, but it is there, and he's had that for so many years, and just to have it taken away because he's a
Taken
survivor of
away.
cancer, it's just.
I think he did do
so-
some of the singing in the Doors,
devastating.
right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Not
he
all of it. I
did.
mean,
Yeah.
which is amazing. He
Wow.
was so good in that. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
He was like perfect
Yeah,
for that
that's-
role. Like that's kind of like it's what you know when they do when you. It's almost like you're created to do a certain type of thing. You know, it's like or like you're not created, but like you just have this aura about you, and like some roles just line up perfectly. You know, and I feel like
Oh, yeah.
him playing in the Doors. He just and that in Tombstone. I felt like him playing Doc Holliday
yeah.
in Tombstone was just it just blew my mind. It's still one of the greatest Western roles I've ever Western movies, and that role he played was just the way he played that Doc Holliday, the character, was just pitch perfect. I mean, it was amazing.
I gotta go back and
Yeah,
watch that
I
again.
gotta say, like when somebody had mentioned there was a Val Kilmer film, like it's like somebody's gonna make a Val Kilmer documentary, and I was like, huh, why? Like I was just okay.
Yeah.
Why do we need that content? Like I had no idea, but seeing this, like oh my God, I'm getting emotional watching that trailer. I think that is going to be such a provocative movie about the industry and about the hardships of acting, about the relationships you have as an actor. As an actor, for me, I think that's going to be probably like a real like heavy home hitter for me. Like it's just gonna like I'm a cry.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna cry in the trailer when he
Yeah.
started crying. I was like, oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's only 61.
He's only
Is he really?
61, really.
Yeah.
And you know
Yeah.
what? That's also kind of wild to me that like there was a kind of a clip of him and his head is tilted and he's looking straight at camera, and that's exactly how I picture Val Kilmer when I picture Val Kilmer. I don't picture him now as a 61-year-old man. I picture him like in his 30s or 40s.
Yeah.
In some of his roles. That's so crazy. Like, yeah, he's wow. I'm gonna be tearing up.
Yeah,
It
it,
looks
it
really
does. It
good.
looks powerful. I think what's going to be most fascinating, and you touched on it, is, I mean, there's clips of footage in there from like him. It looks like he did like a casting tape for like Platoon, you know,
Yeah.
and there's like a shot of like behind the scenes of oh crap, well, I'm gonna blank on the movie. What was the movie that the Island of Dr Moreau, right? So that movie had like a lot of press behind it because of its like it had like there was just a lot of behind the scenes drama that was going on. Like a lot of people were arguing, and so it'll be interesting to see like what he captured from that, you know, and because there's a few clips, and I think that one shot of like where the director's like, you got to turn that camera off now.
Yeah, I was wondering what director that was.
I think that's from the Island of Dr Moreau.
Really?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting. I kind of.
So,
I love his response too. I'll shut it. I'm gonna roll until we rehearse.
Yeah,
It's just awesome.
I kind of hope like it almost seemed like that was clipped together, like the director saying that in his response. It didn't almost seem like it was. Or if you heard the door, that's my doorbell. Sorry, I have to go. No, it almost seemed clipped together, that response, but I really do hope Val Kilmer actually was like, no, I'm going to keep the camera on until we're
right, yeah.
Like, I really do hope that he had that thought.
Yeah. He's like, I'm a star.
I'm a star. EJ
I do what I want.
Pete. Sorry, thank you so much for the soup. Sorry, it just came in, so hello, thank you so much for the soup.
Oh yeah, hey EJ, sending some soup
thank
and love
you.
to all you at Retro Replay. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you so much.
Josh Neff. I wonder if there's behind the scenes of the Island. I can only imagine how bad it could be. Yeah, I mean that movie notoriously had just like some bad drama going down, and it had Marlon Brando in it.
I was just gonna say Brando was in there.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine having a film
that's
with
right.
Marlon Brando and things just not going well? I mean, the
Actually,
guy's
I
like
can't imagine that.
like a king of Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was doing. He did Island of Dr. Moreau right on the heels of Batman Forever and Heat, and Heat is another incredible film that he was just perfect for. Got that gunfight at the end of that movie that's like 15 minutes long or whatever. It's just still up there as one of like the best like shootout scenes ever. It's just so good. De Niro's in that, Pacino, John Voight, Tom Sizemore. I mean, the cast he's surrounded by, and then you got Val Kilmer. I mean, it's just incredible. So he's just been around. He's acted with a lot of the greats when you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the beginning clips.
been
of
around
Kevin
for a
Bacon
long
and
time.
Sean Penn.
Yeah, Sean Penn. Yeah, it's like you know,
Oh,
hanging
that
out
was
like
so
with buddies.
cool.
That's really cool.
Steven,
To
Kevin
see all
Bacon
that.
and Sean Penn in those clips.
You know what was great is I think Kevin says to him, he's like, "Oh, is that a video camera? That's so cool, Val." And I'm like, "Oh my god." That's like just so it's so weird. Like, listen, I'm a millennial. I've grown up with pretty much cameras everywhere, but it's just so strange to me that like as soon as it was a thing, Val Kilmer made it like I have to get one and I have to be
Yeah, that
recording
probably was
everything.
early '80s,
That's
and then
pretty
it
cool.
looked like he actually had film reels, so he probably started with little Super 8s and
Super 8, yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and then wow, I can carry around this little video camera and tape stuff. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, and I think there's something so like almost beautiful. Like I've always loved film, but just to see like all these home videos, like it's not just like the movies and film clips and then sitting in front of a camera. Like you're actually getting to see him through his eyes, like and like what he saw and like the film industry. So like, and I think he mentions too, like kind of how like he lived and like he was crazy at times, but then also like. So to me, it's like I love Val Kilmer. I've always thought he has like such a great persona about him. So I mean, like watching this just kind of makes me want to watch it even more. And because I remember reading about it, and I think I brought it up to you guys last week before.
You did, yeah, you
the
did.
Disney.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I found that because. Yeah. Now I'm like getting back to Amazon Prime to watch it eventually.
Yeah. It's cool that Amazon Prime picked this up because I think that'll reach a large amount of people. you know, that would have access to see this, you know.
Yeah, but will you have to pay to watch it though, or will it be included?
It'll probably be part of your Prime if you have a Prime subscription.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
I don't think Prime has ever done that, have they?
I think, well, maybe not for their content.
I know Disney definitely has. Like, Disney's like, you can pay $30 to watch this now, or you can get it free in 2 months' time.
Or you can wait.
Yeah, or you can wait. A lot of the time, Disney, I'm not gonna lie to you, I wait.
Yeah.
I wait. Yeah,
I'm
will be
not
waiting.
that. I don't need to see this movie right now. Thank you.
No.
But just like while we're on that topic, please support your industry and actually pay for your services. Thank you.
Yeah.
At least I subscribe to Disney Plus, so yeah. But the actual trailer itself, I think, was really well constructed. I think like you're getting flashes of him at present, and I think there's like this moment where in the beginning he's like in, it looks like an agency, and he's like kind of doing something fun. It looks like he's almost sneaking around the agency, and that's clearly now today. Like, and he's got the scarf to sort of cover his trachea mic type thing. Yeah, I just think this is really cool to see clips of how he is now and way back then.
Yeah.
It's growth, isn't it? It's all about growth, and I think this is right up my alley. I'm so happy to go see this. I'd like to. Yeah. Does it have a date? Did it have a release date?
It did.
July
23rd.
Oh shit! That's like 2 weeks time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Coming up.
That's when Ted Lasso comes out again.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Big date. Big date.
That is a big date. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which also got the Emmys just got released, and there's a ton of Emmys for Lasso and Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah.
No way.
Queen's
I thought
Gambit.
Mandalorian
Yeah.
was great, actually.
Yeah.
Queen's Gambit.
Colin, thank you so much for the soup. Looking forward to this
Yeah,
documentary. Good seeing you guys doing so well.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you so much, Colin. I think it will look very insightful, actually.
And if you guys are members, I see a lot of members in the chat. Check the community tab. We posted a link to join us on Riverside, where if you want to come in and join us and ask a question or give a POV on what you loved about this trailer, or Val Kilmer in general. If there's like a movie that really spoke to you, you don't have to do a video up. You can do audio only if you want. But feel free to jump in and ask a question. On that, like, I noticed that he is cast in the new Top Gun film.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, Top Gun Maverick. So I'm wondering with the throat cancer, like I wonder if they're going to write that into the movie, right? Like, or
the story.
Right, exactly. Or if there's like some weird CG thing they're going to try to do, you know, like where they make someone look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they'll have his son ADR all of his lines.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right.
His son sounds like
Yeah.
His son sounds incredible.
Although when did he have all of his cancer stuff?
I feel like though, would he not have a small part then in Top Gun Maverick?
I would think it's probably a pretty
like
small
a cameo part.
Cameo,
so
yeah.
He could be ADR'd by his son Paul. I think that would probably be a good shout. But I think if they were, I think if you're a smart writer, I think it's better to include it. Don't hide it. Like don't
I agree.
hide that stuff. I think just actually write around it.
Yeah, and it kind of fits into the military-ish
Yeah.
sort of side of that film, you know, like, you know, taking care of veterans, and you know, like he probably had a good career as a Top Gun fighter, you know, as a fighter pilot, and you know, I mean, to hopefully write that into the story would be pretty interesting. I wonder if they're going to show anything from that filming into this trailer as well to kind of round out that career, because if you think about it, Top Gun started his career.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to sort of bookend it with like scenes or behind the scenes of the newest film. But who knows if they'll be able to release that, since the movies. Who knows I don't know when the movie's supposed to come out. It's supposed to come out like a year ago.
Yeah, it seems like what's going on with that?
And then I was just looking to, you know, it was interesting.
Another movie.
What's that?
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say he also did another movie in 2021. It looks like. So I don't know. It's called The Birthday Cake.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard of that. He did a Pay Dirt in 2020. Jay and Silent Bob reboot. Oh my god, that movie is so terrible. 2019. Terrible in a good way, though. It's fun. I don't remember seeing him in that, though, actually. That's kind of funny. It was funny you mentioned...
Go back and watch it now.
I do, yeah. I kind of want to... There's a ton of cameos in that. Like, Kevin Smith pretty much brings in everybody.
I see.
It was funny you mentioned Stephanie because I always enjoyed watching Val Kilmer's films, but he always came across as like kind of, I don't know, that kind of, he kind of came across as a dick in a way, like in his movie. Arrogant. Yeah, thank you. And he played those characters.
Yeah.
Like it was almost like he was cast as those characters. Like when his character in Top Gun, Iceman, he's kind of a dick to Tom Cruise, right?
Yeah,
He's kind of that cocky, overconfident, character. And then even when he plays like Mad Mardigan and Willow, again that charismatic but overconfident, but obviously has the abilities. It just seems like he was constantly casted in
typecast.
Films, that were that kind of character. Even when he did The Saint, which was like the spy film of his career, which is actually a decent like film. Like it's actually pretty good. Even that character, he kind of played it pretty arrogant, and I didn't know how much of that was him or like putting that into the character or how much of it was like the role dictating that, and I always thought that was interesting. But he never felt like super likable, but he was always charismatic. You know what I'm saying? Like it was an interesting, he wrote that line really well.
I think this will be really interesting now as well because I think, like to me, when I'm perceiving that, I'm thinking that he's clearly done such a great job as that type of character that other producers and writers are like, that guy, we need him to play this thing. And I'm thinking now with this movie where he's going to be showing you self-tapes that he submitted for other roles, you'll probably see him be able to branch out into other things, and people are just like, nah, you're good as Val Kilmer, like, but just a little bit of a dick. Do that.
Well, but the thing is,
you know what I mean? So I think that might be interesting.
He was able to pull off being kind of a likable dick, like like he was arrogant, and you want to maybe not like him and have that be a reason not to like him, but I mean, you just like him for some reason.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool.
Totally. His characters always seem to have a redeeming quality, right? Like whether it was Doc Holliday in Tombstone, who was just like insufferable for most of the film. He's just this always looking for the fight, always looking to how to one up somebody. Whether it's or win through trickery or not. But he at the end of the day, he did the right thing and helped Wyatt Earp hunt down the bandits. Same thing with when he played Mad Mardigan. Like he starts the film out as like this arrogant jerk, and he's unwilling to help Willow, on his journey. But like, in the film, he kind of comes around and realizes like, hey, I'm doing the right thing. I'm fighting the good fight. So, but there's always that essence of his character, and I always wondered like how much of that was him, and then how much of it was like, the character coming out. Real Genius too, another great film. Have you guys seen Real Genius? It's like an old
time ago
80s movie about
like 82 or something like that.
Yeah, 82, 85.
82, 85.
It was around that time. But it was a film about like a bunch of like genius kids in a college, and they like play pranks on each other, and like the stress behind like the teacher wanting them to like have these breakthroughs. It's an interesting film on like college life in that time if you're a genius. But it's a really fun film. Great soundtrack, by the way. I don't know. This is it's really interesting. Like when you look back at Val Kilmer's career, he is pretty. It's pretty substantial. Yeah. Even though he kind of fell off the radar for a long time there.
Yeah.
85. You were right.
I don't think he's done acting.
Yeah, but it's interesting because I think like I haven't seen all that many Val Kilmer films, but I know exactly who he is, and I feel like he's just gotten to a point where he's Val Kilmer. You know what I mean? Like he's just a name, and like that's what they're casting him in because he's like, oh, this is like we know the perfect type of this, and a lot of people would probably actually be writing with him in mind and be like, it was written for Val. But yeah, for such an extensive career, and I've only seen such a small percentage of it. Like I feel like. Like I'm not ignorant to who he is, I guess. Do you know what I mean? So like I know who he is, and I'd go and see movies if he was in it. I do think my favorite performance of his is Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, though. I just think that film is so good.
That's a great
which
film.
film?
Robert Downey Jr. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Oh god, that movie's great. Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah.
I thought
forgot he was in that.
Yeah, I know. I did too, actually. Until you brought it up, Pagan, I was like, oh yeah, he is in that, isn't he?
Yeah, it's great. And of course, Batman.
I just watched a little bit of that.
Wow.
The trailer for the. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. We're just bragging on Batman forever.
Which wasn't
good
a
one.
good movie,
It's a
but
good
Val
one.
he was an okay Batman. I gotta say,
good.
he's an alright Bruce Wayne.
He was an okay Batman.
Maybe maybe I'm using this phrasing wrong. He was an okay Batman, but he was a good Bruce Wayne. I think he was an alright like billionaire.
I mean, but if you put him on the rank of like Batman's,
Right? Yeah, no, he's
definitely-
relatively low. He's above George
he's gonna
Clooney.
be pretty low on
He's
the ranking.
relatively low.
Yeah, yeah.
He's definitely above George
He
Clooney.
did a good job.
Adam West is
Is
top,
he above George
obviously.
Clooney? I don't know.
Adam West
Which
is
George
best
Clooney
Batman.
made a
Come
good.
at me.
Which suit had nipples? Because that's the
That's
Batman.
George
I love.
Clooney.
Yeah. See, you can't
George
beat
Clooney.
that.
Right.
Yeah. When you put nipples on the bat suit, like, you're already above every other Batman in my mind.
Yeah. So that was George Clooney. No. Yeah. No, I don't know. I thought he was great. That's probably what it was. I think one of the replayers, Emma, had a question to see which was your favorite Val Kilmer movie, but I feel like we've all sort of touched on that at the moment.
Yeah, that's tough.
I've already said mine, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
I have to
I
go
mean,
with
I
The
always
Doors.
liked.
Oh, The Doors, Paul?
Yeah.
The Doors is fantastic. Yeah, The Doors is fantastic. I think like from like my childhood, as far as like because I knew him more like from an earlier age, was like the Prince of Egypt movie, and he was like the lead role in that, and he was the voice. So like that was just like all voice acting for him. But like that's such a great movie, and like so to me, he's just got such an iconic voice. Too like that movie is fantastic.
Yeah.
So. I'd probably have to put it's like The Doors and that movie is probably like my favorites from his career.
I'm adding that one as well. I'm adding. Yeah. The
Prince of Egypt. I don't.
Yeah,
Have I seen that?
Yeah, I didn't.
Who did he play in the Prince? That's
was
a.
voice
Is that
acting.
is that a Ten Commandments story? What is that?
Yeah, it was voice acting, and Sandra Bullock's in
It's yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's really good.
Rafe Fiennes.
Rafe Fiennes. Yeah, that's right.
It's
Oh, wow.
really good.
It's
Wow.
It's a
That's a
DreamWorks animation
incredible-
movie.
DreamWorks.
That's
it. I
an
was like,
insane
not Disney.
cast. Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely one of my favorites when I was a kid. Good shout, Steph.
Yeah.
Totally
Yeah,
forgot that
that
he
is
was
a
the main
good shout.
character now.
Thank you.
Yeah, good shout. Good shout.
Yeah.
Yeah, if any.
What I was gonna say is I just watched a little bit of that. Oh, sorry.
No,
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
The birthday cake trailer, and I think he's not done acting because it was interesting to watch because it's kind of like a little bit like an Italian kind of like American mobbish kind of story.
Okay.
But he's got a scarf on and he looks like himself. But he's just using his hands, like he's not talking at all like it looks like in the movie, like he's just using his expression. So I think from an acting standpoint, I don't think his career's done. Like I think it'll be really interesting to see like what he does next, or even like from a filmmaker standpoint, I'm curious like if he's going to want to direct movies or produce his own movies. And
Oh, I think
Well-
there
thing
would definitely
as
be
well.
a time for him to be behind the camera for sure. I think with
yeah,
the
I
passion for it that he has, I feel like he's definitely not going to be.
That's
stepping
an
away.
interesting insight, and I wonder if I wonder if this documentary might show something that he might not have ever had a chance to show, which is his eye for filmmaking, right? Like like it seems like the majority of the film is going to be like footage he shot,
Yeah.
like
Right.
so we'll get a glimpse of like, if he has, maybe he's actually a pretty good director or
Yeah.
DP, like he just has a good eye for film, and and obviously that could come down to the edit and the story and whatnot, and maybe he has a hand in the writing. I should probably look that up if he had a hand in like the narration, like writing the narration for his son.
Oh, I
But-
definitely he does. Yeah, it's very I
sure he
and
did.
my,
Yeah.
and I think he
Yeah.
must have.
I would assume so,
I would
but
assume so, yes.
yeah, you don't know.
Sure.
There are two directors
Sure.
aligned with this director.
Has he is he listed as director or is he just listed as producer? Like what's his role in this other than obviously the content? Like does he have a production role?
He's just listed as starring in cinematography on Wikipedia. Let me go to IMDb.
Oh, of course, cinematography.
For the
because
more
of
accurate.
his,
Yeah,
directions, but- yeah, I'm wondering
Well, I'm
if
not
he's
even
like
seeing it on
producer
IMDb,
or
which is bizarre.
yeah, it's an odd one. Huh?
Oh wait, upcoming projects.
Yeah, he's just listed as a star on IMDb.
That's interesting though, because I would assume that he would be producing this. It's pretty much a story about his life, right? And using his content and stuff. That I just that was just me assuming, though. Like, I probably shouldn't assume anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh yeah, here he is. He's listed. Here he is.
Is he? Yeah, I would imagine he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know why.
Yeah, there's a lot of producers.
There we go.
There usually is.
Took a second.
Yeah, with that kind of project, they probably would be.
Yeah. Leo Scott and Ting Fu Capture are the directors. Didn't one of them did? Oh yeah, Scott. Tim Scott. He cut Palo Alto, which is like that ensemble drama that came out. That's like an indie film that came out. That was really good back in like 2013, I think. It got a lot of. It was like an early kind of like Silicon Valley kind of vibe. And it looks like Poe edited. He won an Oscar for his short "Heaven is a Traffic Jam" on the 405. Oh, wow. So there's some pretty talented people behind this. Yeah. Along with obviously Val Kilmer.
I'm hoping this gets Oscar buzz. I'm hoping this gets awards buzz because it's so early on in like the awards
documentary
season, so I'm hoping it doesn't get lost.
Yeah.
As far as I feel like it's going to be a really good movie.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think it'll be pretty inspiring. I think, like you said, Pagan, for people who maybe are looking for a little bit of inspiration for like how do I make it in this industry, and I think even in the trailer we're seeing glimpses of like his tenacity. You know, the fact that he kind of shot like a demo tape for Full Metal Jacket, like went out and just shot some stuff. You know, of him in an outfit, and it sounded like he was going after. I'm reading here. There's probably stuff in there where he did a demo tape for Goodfellas as well. Wow. And you know, he pitched to Stanley Kubrick, Martin Scorsese. So just this idea that like he shot for the moon, you know, and eventually it landed him The Doors in Tombstone, which you know are two of his probably most celebrated performances. So you know, that kind of obviously, I mean, it's not like he wasn't already somewhat of a star, but to your point, he might have been typecast. But to be able to just constantly say like, I want to work with the best, I'm going to give them, I'm going to go shoot something and send it to them even if they don't want it. You know, it's pretty awesome.
That is.
No, I think so, and I think like with the parts that he's given, right? It's not like things like, you know, My Left Foot or What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Do you know what I mean? These are parts that is like, oh, I just want you to play like this confident, like sassy, arrogant, whatever kind of character, and that was sort of a typecast of his for a while. Other actors might have just been, and I'm sure they have been, just like fallen at the wayside because that's just what they've stuck in forever. But like you said, like he continued to be like, no, I want to go after this, and I'd be very interested to see in this documentary if he was like, oh, I heard this project was shooting, can I be in it? And they're like, no. And he's like, right, well, let me just show you what I have, and then just pitches it. I think that's really respectful. And just like, kind of tenacious. Like, I just think like he's going after what he wants. If he doesn't get it, oh well, what's he got to lose? Like, I think that's really fantastic, and that's why I do think, like, to your point, Drew, that I think it will definitely be very inspiring for performers and actors.
Even from a health, even from like a health perspective.
Yeah,
I feel like it'll be inspiring for those, like for those that have had similar situations and probably have felt like my career is over. I, you know, like just emotionally trying to move forward, because I think we talked about this at the top too. Like his life has been in front of the camera, and always been on that journey, that path. So I can't imagine, you know, what that must have been felt like to have been diagnosed, and then you worry about what's going to happen, and then now he's made it through, and he's moving forward. Is he cancer free?
Do we know? He just has the issue with his voice.
Well, it looked like he had the surgery because he has the he's talking through the whole.
Remove it.
Yeah, so I don't know. I would assume it's free, like it got removed, but yeah, who knows all that stuff. That's always murky land.
It's scary. Yeah.
Man. Well, I mean,
yeah, it says he's a survivor.
Oh,
yeah.
So then, yeah, he must have been cancer free or in remission, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, great point. Like, it's probably going to focus heavily on like being diagnosed and cancer treatment.
Oh, and religion too.
You know.
I'm reading the headline: throat cancer survivor Val Kilmer chose his family over religion by going through chemo treatment.
Oh, his
So I don't know what
religion
his religion is.
obviously was against chemo.
Conflicted.
Yeah, who knows? I
Yeah.
don't know what religion doesn't want you to get healthy.
Well,
Whatever that is.
is it Scientology by any
think-
chance?
Yeah.
There's Scientology, and then there's the other one that they don't like medical intervention like that.
There is, I think there's
Jehovah's Witness, right?
Yeah, there's Jehovah's Witness, and I think potentially like Orthodox Jew or Orthodox Catholic or something where you can't have a blood transfusion.
Yes. Yeah.
Feel free
Yeah.
to correct me in the comments. I'm actually unsure of which religion it is, but there is one that you can't have that. So maybe it has something to do with that. I know that, like with chemo and stuff like that, it depends on what it does to you. If it affects your kidneys, then you have to go on dialysis and everything. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Creed also said
He's a
potentially
Christian
Jehovah's Witness.
scientist.
He's a
Oh, is that
Christian
what he is?
scientist.
Oh, okay.
Christian scientist.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's
Christian
interesting.
scientist.
science.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting that a religion that has scientists in it and its name doesn't back science.
That is a bit ironic.
Christian science.
That's seems a little bit of
Christian
false
Science.
advertising. But who am I? I don't know. You know. Hey,
Been around
are
since
you guys scientists?
1879.
We are scientists. What do you believe? Do you think I could be? If this person over here who's a scientist says he can cure my cancer, no, don't listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think like a chemo especially is like such a harsh attack on your body as well. Like there's a lot of decision going into that. I'm sure people are just like,
Yes.
yep, chemo treatment.
Yeah.
And then like they start chemo treatment, they're like, gah, this is like a hard decision to make. So I think this is gonna be very
Absolutely.
interesting for like to see it. I don't even know if we're gonna get that much about it. I presume we would, because I mean it's affected his
I
whole
would think
career.
so.
I assume we
It
would.
seems like part of the story.
Yeah.
His story. It seems like that's part of his journey.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. Well, you know, this was, and you know, it we were pretty somber here ending, but I think it's celebratory in the sense that this is actually looks really good, and
Yeah.
it's cool to see. It's cool to see Val Kilmer like back on the radar again. I guess you know what I'm saying. Like you know, again, growing up with him and loving a lot of what the work he did as an actor. It's just exciting. It's exciting to have someone and who doesn't love like a comeback story? So that's what this feels like. This feels like a really good comeback story for Val Kilmer. So
I think you're right.
Yep.
I think this is going to be an awakening for people who literally just forgot about him, like I did. Like and I don't mean that in like a who's Val Kilmer. I just mean that he fell to the wayside for me. Like he wasn't in like prevalent movies, and I didn't know why we would need this film. But I guarantee I'll have a different tune after we watch this, because even the trailer, I was like, I need to see this. I think this is going to change a lot of people's perspectives on the industry potentially. And
Does
help
he
us
look
set
like? Does he look like
Yeah.
Mickey Rourke to anybody else? He's like
little bit.
Yeah.
Mickey Rourke these days.
A
I
little
don't know.
bit.
It's
Yeah.
kind of interesting.
A little
yeah,
bit.
he does have
A
that
little bit.
vibe.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
With the
That's a good.
blonde hair.
That's a good pull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mickey Rourke came back. Yeah, he was in an Iron Man movie.
Truth.
Oh, the wrestler though.
He
that
came
was-
back for like a second and then
Yeah,
Yeah.
came
Yeah.
back.
Did you see the?
yeah.
Did
Back
you, any of you
into
guys see the wrestler? That was incredible.
It was pretty
I haven't
incredible.
seen it.
Yeah.
No.
I might have to look at that.
That was
Fantastic
basically
movie.
a true story
I
for
remember
him.
it.
Yeah,
So
right?
good. Yeah. Well, he was a boxer, right?
Yeah. Well, I thought he did a little bit of wrestling, though. I
he?
thought so.
I thought so
Um,
too, but then I
I
could be
think
wrong.
I thought
Could be wrong.
Maybe I'm putting him into that role and thinking that. I don't know.
Probably wrestled with
it's
bear or
real.
something.
Yeah. Yeah, but he does give a little bit of Mickey Rourke vibe there
Yeah.
in his older age. Yeah, that's
Get
funny.
those two in the same room.
As long as he doesn't veer into Gary Busey like craziness, then I think we're okay.
Yeah.
As long as the Busey doesn't come out and he's like
Damn.
just oh no.
Where's Nolan when you need him, huh?
I know,
Gary
I
Busey
know.
impression.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Nolan, busy
Nolan.
doing his studio recordings, and PJ's out.
Voice
He's
acting.
shooting a commercial in Mexico City for Red
Honestly,
Bear Films. So
how dare they have a job?
how dare they have
Right.
things to do?
How dare
Trailer
they be
talk
productive
How dare they have
and
priorities.
employed?
is
Ugh,
the thing. I know.
it's disgusting.
Basically, we all. Do we need to get lives and not be doing trailer talk? Is that the lesson here, or are
Yeah.
they're in the wrong? They're in the wrong.
No,
That's-
yeah, they're definitely in the wrong.
Yeah.
No, I think I would
Yeah.
much rather be doing this.
Totally.
Yeah.
I don't leave this room. I need a life.
Totally. Yeah. Oh man.
Oh man.
All right,
Thanks
guys.
everybody.
This was fun.
Thanks everybody for joining us today. We'll see you
Yeah.
next time.
next
Yes.
week,
Time.
Tuesdays, noon,
Yeah.
Pacific Central Time.
Noon.
Pacific Standard Time.
Live.
Is there a Central Pacific Central? Did I
Pacific
just?
Standard.
What
No.
he said.
That's not a thing.
Yeah,
No,
this is
that's
Central.
not.
Pacific Standard.
This is Central.
But
Well,
not
maybe,
Pacific.
maybe
Time.
that's Arizona
No,
because
it's
you
not
never
Pacific.
know what time it is. Actually, in
Arizona doesn't exist. It's just a whole.
Sometimes they're on
8
daylight
p.m.
savings, sometimes they're not. It's like,
BST. There you go. British summertime.
Yeah,
Yes.
British summertime. Is
British
that a thing?
summertime. Yeah, because it's
Oh my
technically
God.
GMT.
Do you have a
plus
British
1 hour
winter time?
Daylight? No. We go back to GMT.
I totally heard that wrong.
Otherwise, we have to be
Yeah.
like, we're in GMT
I totally
plus 1.
heard that wrong.
It's just British summertime, which is plus 1 on GMT.
British summertime. But why have a British summertime unless you have a British wintertime
I
or
don't
a
know.
fall
Why
time?
is it British in general?
I feel like you should just have. If you're gonna call it seasons,
Yes.
I thought you said
Jim.
bitch sometime.
Bitch
bitch
sometime.
that's the
8 p.m.
that's the clock I
bitch
sometime.
sometime.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
When does this air? Bitch sometime.
Bitch
Bitch
That's
sometime.
when it airs, yo. Shit.
Yes. Yes. Then. So we'll see you
Oh,
next
yes.
bitch sometime.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Later, everybody.